would like to call this meeting to order. Need a motion to adopt agenda? Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Commissioner Lapine?
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey?
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Motion passed.
I need a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meetings dated July 18th, 2022 regular board meeting, July 27th, 2022 special call board meeting, and August 12th, 2022 special call board meeting. Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the minutes from the 3 board meetings as outlined.
Second.
Do we have Commissioner Anderson on Zoom? Commissioner Lapine?
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey?
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley?
No on July 27th, but yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Motion has been seconded and approved. We will now have public input. Do we have anyone that signed up?
Yes, we have Mr. Joe Jeter from Crane Forest. And we also have Mr. Durant, and he's representing Gaston and Kaufman Road Park.
Sorry, Madam Chair, did the motion for the minutes pass? Do we have a commissioner that's present on the phone? We passed. Okay. No, he voted no.
He voted no on just one.
Okay.
But that's still not the motion.
Do I need to separate the motion? Here, Bob, do I need to separate the motion?
Which one did you vote on?
They did not approve. He didn't approve 27. All right, I can restart the motion. Is that what I need to do?
Yeah.
Sorry, Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the minutes from the July 18th, 2022 regular board meeting and also the August 12th, 2022 special call board meeting.
Second.
Commissioner Lapine?
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey?
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley? Commissioner Singleton?
Yes. So Chris Anderson is not on the call. Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the minutes from the July 27th, 2022 special call board meeting.
Second.
Commissioner Lapine?
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey?
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley? Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay. Are we good now? Okay, thank you. So now we have public input. Mr. Joe Jeter. You said that was the
Yes,
first person?
ma'am.
Mr. Jeter, would you come to the podium? Microphone, please.
My name is Joe Jeter. I'm with the Forest Heights Community Association. I'm here on behalf of Crane Forest Park. How much time I have? 20 minutes?
We're happy to have you, but we don't have 20 minutes. We're more than happy to listen.
We're concerned about our park. It's in a disarray. You have to come and look at the park. Number one, there's a drainage problem. Basketball court is on top of the hill. When it rains, it pushes everything down the hill. That park is on one block. There's 73 trees in that park. There's roots coming out of the ground. Somebody gonna trip over it, hurt themselves. The park sign is in a disarray. It's about to rot off. I don't think all they do is come out there and cut grass. Most. But we're in need of an upgrade on that park. It's probably 40 years old, at least. And you can't play on it because it's got pine straw and pine cone all over the yard with all over the trees. And it's just in a disarray. I mean, we know, we've seen it, but none of you seen it. Some of you have seen the park. And it's just not a park. It's nothing to do there. I'm just hoping, you know, some get done because like I say, it's been years. I mean, otherwise that Richard County Park and Recreation, I have to commend them. Anything we have, they're there. And we really appreciate that. You know, the things you do for the park, but the park itself is not, it's in a disarray.
Mr. Jeter, we have the superintendent of parks here, and we will definitely get people referral to them so they can come out and inspect that park and see what needs to be done. So we need to make sure we get his name and information, and we will definitely get back with you.
This is great.
Yeah.
Please make sure that you give your information to the team. She's right there. Throw your hand, wave your hand, and there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you. And we had one other person. I didn't get their name.
Mr. Durant, and he is for Gaston and Kaufman Road Park.
Good evening. First, I want to say I am proud of what this Richland County Park and Recreation has done. Throughout my travels throughout the United States, one of the best park systems in the country that I've seen, east to west coast. But I am concerned about Kaufman Road and Gaston as well. The parking lot has been like the same way for 16 years. It's embarrassing. I don't know how many front end alignments I've had to do because I've had to go through potholes at Kaufman Road Park. The landscape, it's landscaping on the side of the tennis court. You need a good landscaper because that runoff is ridiculous. Some of the neighbors that go back there, that water flows back and it goes to some of the neighbors' backyard. I've contacted the DOT about the ditches that are on Kaufman Road and Charter Road. They need to be cleaned out. That's part of the problem. Number two, the tennis courts. It bothers me. I'm a dad and my baby wants to play tennis. If I have to drive all the way over to Polo Road, I'll do it. But a park less than 5 minutes away from me. Southeast Columbia is the fastest growing section of Richland County. Within 15 minutes of that park, you have 8 neighborhoods going. Why there's not an upgrade? I'm not taking away from the other parks in the Southeast area, but Kaufman Road is the busiest park on that portion of Gardner's Ferry and Southeast Road. In about 12 months, there are going to be 5 neighborhoods that are going up prone right now. The tennis courts need to be upgraded for all to see. I'm 10 minutes away from Columbia East Park. That's great. But 6 or 7 years ago, that park was crowded with people. What happened? I don't know. Now, when I move on to the pool, I'm concerned about the pool. I understand their study was done a couple of years ago. By the time that study is completed, those kids have already gone to college and graduated. We need indoor pools. Through wellness centers, great. But for people that can't walk to that park, I'll propose putting a pools at Kaufman Road Park or putting one at Gardner's Ferry Adult Park. You got the land, let's use it. Funding from Richland County, I don't know where that stands at. I would hope that this committee would look at input from the citizens. Meet me there, walk around, I'll show you some stuff. In my 30 plus years in engineering and construction, my 10 NFL stadiums and my 30 casinos, there's some things that need to be done. These kids shouldn't have to suffer or have to go across town. Some of these kids don't have the means or transportation to get there. I'm willing to make that sacrifice, but for the kid that's 5 minutes away that can't play tennis or go to a pool, that is unacceptable. My last point I want to make tonight, and I rarely get up unless something flushes. leadership. In the past 5 years, we've had a lot of leadership changes here, but the term intern bothers me. We need stability at this agency. I can't dictate that. I can't enforce that, but I can give my opinion. If you have take the title of intern off, I'm sure that this agency will flourish. Now, that being said, there's a lot of concerns that I have. Meet the citizens at the park so we can walk around and show you what we see. Every day, senior citizens walk around in that park, that concrete park, that 1.2 miles of Kaufman Road Park. Let's change the material to a biodegradable material where they can walk around where it's not tough on their knees. I've seen too many senior citizens that go to walk for help, but they can't walk because their knees are messed up because of that concrete. Let's do that. And I don't have a lot of time, and I probably will respond to email, but those are my concerns. I'll be back. I want a response from the commissioner, superintendent, when it comes to space. My concern, let's get the tennis courts done. Let's get the pool done. My kids have enjoyed the after-school programs for the past 16 years. I've enjoyed it, no issues at all. I volunteered at soccer. I have no idea what the heck to do with a soccer ball, but I'm getting ready to do basketball as well. You've got people that are willing to do things in the community, value the input of the community. We never say no when our tax dollars go there, but value the input of the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And be sure and give his name and contact information also. Okay. Do we have any other names on the?
We do, but she's not here. It's Miss Barbara Roach, and she's
Okay.
not here.
I'm gonna close it out.
Okay.
We always appreciate the citizens coming and giving us your concerns and your suggestions, and we'll make sure that someone gets back with you, and hopefully we can make some improvements. Thank you for coming again. Next, we have the financial report with Ryan, the Chief Financial Officer. He'll present to the board statement of revenue and expenses in the enterprise fund from Linwood Golf Course.
Good evening to Chair Lindsay, members of the Commission Board. I'd like to begin tonight by providing you with an update on the general and enterprise fund financials for the period of July 1, 2022 through August 31st, 2022. Total revenues for the general fund for the 2-month period were $513,000 compared to $1.15 million around this time last year. Represents approximately a $642,000 decrease in revenues, or approximately 55.6% decrease. Now, the largest driver for that decrease was property tax revenue. That was largely due to the timing of the property tax payments from Richland County. Please keep in mind that RCRC receives the vast majority of its property tax revenues during the final 2 quarters of the fiscal year. For fiscal year 23, we were approved for $15.55 million in property tax revenue. Program revenues for the period were $152,000 compared to $166,000 around this time last year. That represents a $14,000 decrease, or approximately 8.35%. Youth camp and athletic program revenue was down from this time last year. However, we have seen an increase in parks and rental and recreational programming revenue during this period. Total general fund expenditures for this period were $2.44 million compared to $2.51 million around this time last year. Represents approximately 2.47% decrease, or $62,000. The biggest driver for this decrease would be capital improvement expenditures. at the beginning of last fiscal year, we did see significant project costs incurred during that first quarter. It was largely due to the Polo and Friars Gate projects. So compared to this time last year, we have seen a significant decrease in capital improvement expenditures. For enterprise fund, revenues for the current period were $211,000 compared to $180,000 this time last year. Represents approximately 17.2% increase or $31,000. Green fees and cart rental revenue were the largest drivers for this increase. And total enterprise fund expenditures for this period were $169,000 compared to $192,000 around this time last year. Represents approximately 12% decrease or $23.2 thousand. Capital outlay expense was the largest driver for this decrease. At the beginning of the last fiscal year, we did have a fairly large purchase for the ThorGuard system, which is our lightning warning and detection system out at Linrick. So I'm going to pause. Are there any questions?
I had questions for the back on the general fund. And so this is probably questions I'm going to ask that you might not be able to answer today.
Okay.
So the question I have is salaries, pensions, benefits, and taxes. So let's just say salaries. $7,250,000 is the budgeted number for this year. Okay. And it looks to me like you're obviously under budget as compared to last year. So when we were doing our budget for the year, how did we received the same millage, right? What did they deduct from us exactly?
So we received the same number of mills.
Correct.
However, the value per mill actually decreased from last year. So our total allocation decreased.
But who dictates that decrease in mill value?
That's calculated by the county, and there's a formula that plays into it, but it's largely based on population, county population.
So what I'm saying is is the zoo millage the same as our millage?
The value of the mill, yeah, the decrease was across the board.
Right? So,
yeah.
So we kept the same amount of mills. It's just the valuation of them went down. Hence is why the county came back when we asked for an increase and they said they can't increase it.
That's correct. They didn't increase the total number of mills.
So if we had given the employees of Richland County Recreation a cost of living increase, which we did not do, correct?
That is correct.
Then that was due to what I'm talking about right now, correct?
That's correct.
How much money would that, let's say it's 3%, how much would that be?
I believe we calculated that it was close to $300,000.
So what I'd like to ask you is for us to somehow go back to the county and see if we can get our budget amended to get the employees that cost of living increase. Because it's really tough out there. We've got something to keep everybody. If we can do something like that, I don't know if that's a fair question to ask, but I'd like to figure out some way to come up with that if we could.
We can certainly explore and ask the question.
Mayor Bob, has that been done before in other agencies?
I think the budget requires process, but
you just go into the county and say, look.
and I think the issue would be, are you need additional money? Where does that come from? There'd be that question. Then the legal process of amending the budget that year would be hoops you'd have to go through.
Yeah, it would have to go to the county, but I think the real issue here would be that what you're requesting is that your operating mills be increased. because the value of the mill has decreased. And the problem with that is that property tax bills are about to go out, and once those go out, you can't you can't supplement it again, you know what I mean? Like, you can't send everyone a new bill.
Right, correct. So you
Um,
got about 2 weeks because they're coming out 2 or 3 weeks.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what the county's timeline for that is, when it finalized, how we, honestly, they're already finalized, but, you know, perhaps there would be some sort of grant or alternate funding that they could provide to the district that's not millage based. But that decrease that y'all saw in the value of the mill was that was all special purpose districts within Richland County and all.
Okay, well, I get that, because I don't see any way that you could go out and mess with what you're talking about. That's not realistic. But like you said, there might be some sort of employee assistance fund that they have already there. There might be ways for us to go back and look at our budget and see if we can, you know, if we're allowed to pull from certain areas. But I'd like to do everything we can and get some sort of report in the next 30 days, see if we can come up with a plan or solution and maybe take care of that quickly, if we could.
Sure.
And thanks for that explanation. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Were there any additional questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Next is unfinished business, and we have none. Next, we have the new business. New business will include a resolution approving the shot spotter. Did everyone read the resolution? Any questions regarding? Amika, would you like to do a presentation on that?
Just a little bit. Just to give a update. So the shot spotter is a small device that detects outdoor gunfire that triangulate where the shot was fired. So within seconds, the shooter's location is sent to police on their phones, their laptops, in their cars, and 911 dispatched simultaneously. The city of Columbia has been using this for a few years with great success, and the Richland County Sheriff's Office is now rolling this out in different areas of the county. So with our cooperation with Richland County Sheriff Department and a time-sensitive agreement execution, the shot spotter agreement was approved on 8/31/2020. So far, these sites that they had recommended right now will be are at Meadow Lake and St. Andrews Park with those devices. So this resolution will follow as a approval of my execution of the agreement. The shot spotter people who they came and put them up.
Any other questions?
You need action on that?
Yes, I need a motion for the approving the shot spotter.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the resolution as presented by our interim executive director for the addition of shot spotter devices at St. Andrews Park and Meadow Lake Park.
Second.
Commissioner Lapine,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey,
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley,
Yeah.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
motion passed.
It has been approved in second. Next, we will have a waiver of fees for Revelations Youth Development Outreach Action.
Yes, so the waiver of fees is coming from the Evolution Youth Development Outreach. I did provide that, Chair, in your area and if you could pass along to the other three commissioners, it is to have a social gathering for the aging population in the Lower Richland community, paint and praise party. This event is they will not be charged for it. Will be held at Garner's Ferry Adult Activity Center. It provides social networking connection for the seniors in Lower Richland community. These types of gatherings have been proven to be beneficial for the overall health benefits of managing stress, depression, anxiety, and sensory impairment. So it is recommended that they have this event at that location.
Is this an event that's is this a one-time event?
Yes.
Ms. Williams, I have a question. So they're not charging the residents. This is my first time looking at the packet. So they're not charging the citizens to participate in this event. There's absolutely no charge.
No charge.
Because I know usually when we have our activities here for seniors, we charge them at least $10 for the cost of equipment. And so I guess they're going to provide all the equipment and
We're
Moving
providing a
stuff.
facility for from 10 to 2, and they're asking for the space there. So, I think they're going to be providing anything to come from their agency. So we're providing the space in coordination with our site, tables, chairs.
they just want to use our building.
Mm-hmm.
Did it say how many people? I didn't see the number. It's kind of vague to me.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'll follow up on the
Right,
number.
because it
But
says
we can't-
Elevations Youth Development Outreach. That's the company or the 501c.
Mhm. Yes.
But then on the write-up, she's just referring to seniors.
Yeah, even though it's their agency, they are referring their program to the seniors.
It's just kind of vague. Just looking at it, I mean, it's kind of hard to just.
So, Ronzetta, like in the past, we haven't had a lot of these, obviously last year and a half.
No, it was COVID.
Yeah, because of COVID, but we were pretty strict in our looking at these in the past.
Right.
And I honestly don't remember kind of the criteria that we were.
Well, we need to
Using-
know about how many people they're gonna have.
So that's why I'm asking you. Do you
Right.
remember that?
Like I said, it's the first time I saw it briefly. The hours, at least from the good part, 10 to 2, we don't have to pay anybody overtime to work. But it's just not too much clarity to me.
How many people?
It doesn't say. That's what I was asking, how many people are involved?
Because then you have security.
Well, it's a senior event.
Senior event,
And it's what,
You know what a
a
waiver-
paint and sip?
complete waiver of fees.
That's what she's.
Paint and praise party.
Birthday after hours.
No, 10 to 2 is what,
I know, but I'm just saying on the charge here. Fee after hours. When is the event?
October
paint and
13th.
praise party.
October 13th.
October
We have
13th.
to go for-
October 13th.
Yeah, October 13th. I think we need a little more information before we approve this.
And I was going to say, we'll make sure that they're not exceeding their, because I just noticed they didn't exceed. We'll make sure they're not exceeding our adult activity capacity. So, I mean, if you need a little bit more information, I mean, it is there on October the 13th. I don't know how you want to proceed afterwards.
Does anybody, is anybody in here that's familiar with this organization? And then
We need to look it up.
who took this application, helped them do it? Your staff.
One of our staff, Connie Reeves, she assisted.
She probably could get good verbiage on. I was told that it's senior thing. You take all the stuff, it's so far like long edge that salary is.
Right, but that was put out by our, that was by our employees, that was our event. And that's what I'm saying, and they even charge $10 per person for that, for each person. This group, they say they're not charging anything, but they don't give us a number of how many people they expect. And then they have a asterisk by Adult Activity Center.
Well, the asterisk by the Adult Activity Center is because it's for Garner's Ferry Adult Activity Center. So that type of fee would apply if you do not approve it. It will be under the Adult Activity Center fees.
It's senior, yeah. They're not charged. I just don't remember our policy, on this. So I'll take the advice of this. I have no clue. It is, well, I would like to know how many people, though, but I'm kind of in favor of seeing the better.
A paint and praise party. I know what a paint party is.
Can you, somebody here text Connie and get maybe some more knowledge on this, and then we can bring it back up at the end?
I think it's imperative that we make sure we would limit any exposure that we would have as a board when you invite senior citizens in our building for an event that we aren't sponsoring ourselves. And I haven't even read through it, but they're 501c3. I'm assuming, right?
They are.
Okay.
That's what it says.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we have done our due diligence before we allow people who operate businesses to come in, and we agree to allow them to do that. Just make sure that we have limited any exposure that we would have as a board. And just looking at it tonight, I'm not prepared to vote yes, but that's not to say that I wouldn't. I'm with Rob. I know COVID has made it difficult in the last few years, and I'm not opposed to offering our spot for events like this. But I just want to make sure that we have done our due diligence to limit any exposure. And have we done that?
Well, I think it's. It's just a big show.
Correct.
Yes.
What would be the cost that would be incurred if they rented it through our normal protocol and procedure that we have established for people that want to use our facilities? I'm sorry, I don't have that information.
Okay, so if they come at a normal rental, it would be if they are using the banquet hall and dining area, it would be either the 140 or it would be the 140 because it's during the operating hours.
Correct.
So
did they just turn this in the last couple of weeks, or when did this get turned in?
This was July. Yeah, it was after.
We didn't meet in the month.
Yeah, it was after July, but it was kind of yeah, it was after that.
I hate to just tell them at the last second. That's insane.
Well, they might need an answer now. I can certainly appreciate that, but we want to make sure that we have limited our exposure. Just not be, is this an agency that we worked with in the past? Have we done anything with this group before? We have a reference from any superintendent that's worked with this group.
Can you? Thank you. Okay.
Development out the more Richmond area.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, we worked with them some years ago. I can't
recall how many people they had in attendance, but we have worked with them in the past. And it's been some years though.
Can you ask her if we have given them a waiver of fees before?
Have we given them a waiver of fees before? Can't recall it off the top of my head because it's been some years, like it's been before the pandemic, like years before the recall it off the top of my head, it's been years before. You know how many people get in the internet, they discuss it, waiver. That is correct. When I talked to this is Miss Charlotte Simon. That is correct. Yes. It's supposed to be just a meeting, not necessarily an event. Because I know it says sip and paint or paint and pour or something like that, but it's not necessarily that event. It's going to be a meeting because they've had a meeting there before.
And so
The date of October the 13th. Are there any other events going on at this time?
This is already,
You check with Honest Fair Road?
yeah, this date has already been looked at,
This date
because
is
they had,
clear?
yeah, because they had another date and then they, which was a little early, I think it was either August or September, but then they went to October. Connie worked with her to get this date.
Okay, as long as they don't have any other events going on at that time, but she needs to give us a number of approximately how many people will be in attendance.
she said she thought it was just a meeting.
Oh.
That's what I just heard on the phone.
Yeah, this is,
Like that on here.
She said meeting is what she just said.
Well, maybe they need to rewrite this application
Yeah.
and says it's just a meeting.
let's bring this back. I need to get more clarification. So this is a change. This is the first of I heard meeting. So I'll follow up.
That's the best thing.
I think, right, I think we just need some additional details.
She said 50 people.
All right, 50 people, what I was just informed.
Okay, we just need some clarity. So we're gonna defer this issue to, we can have a special call meeting if they still want that date, because we don't have it at that time.
Donzetta,
Uh-huh.
can you do the same thing you did with can you like get our pulse, and if we all agree, call James and us,
Right.
then you can let her sign off on it, then we can vote on it like we just did at the next meeting, so we don't have to have a
Yeah, we
special
can do
call
a
meeting.
Zoom.
Because I hate for them to miss out
Right.
for that.
Information. Okay.
We can get the pulse of Brittany and James.
Okay, once they clarify this a little bit better, let us know if they just want a meeting in the building or if they're gonna have a paint and praise dance. And about how many people they're gonna have attending. And as long as Thursday is clear for them, if we can get back with them. So we're gonna defer this. Okay, next, the proposed fee schedule. We all received a copy. In the package showing the proposals to increase some of our rates.
Yes. So at the request of the chair to review our rental fees and propose an increase to our facility rentals, the team reviewed our current fees for facility rentals, programs, and services. The last fee schedule was reviewed and approved by the board in 2019. So the proposed fee schedule that you received tonight for review lists the description items of the fees, the fees being currently charged for that item, and the fees that we propose to change or stay the same for that item. If there's an item that is proposed in the column that notes delete, it means that we do not need that additional fee as it may be covered by another item or duplicated, and we do not need that description. This layout is for your review, and hopefully at the next meeting we can get these approved. Once approved, the fees will be updated on all applicable documents, and notice to the public will be implemented per an effective date that the fees will take place.
Ms. Williams, I did have opportunity to take a look at the fees, and my question is, and I just want to make sure, I know because there are people that might, want to know why we would be doing this or considering this, and so I just want to make sure that it's clear that when is the last time we have looked at a fee schedule? I mean, in your
2019.
2019. Okay, so we're moving forward. And then the next question is, did we compare comparable rental fees for private event spaces, other county, the Lexington districts? Do we compare to make
Yes,
sure that ours are in line?
yes.
Okay.
I don't see where many of them change. To me, it look like a lot of them stayed the same.
No, we actually did go up on the rental fees for some of the sites. You look at the what's current, and then what's proposed.
Yeah. And the option for, just for clarity, the option for families who have an interest in having their children participate in athletic programming, they still have the option to apply for scholarships through the Ed Foundation.
And some at the top where it has fee-based programs and activities, those are kind of noted in our game plan because there are specific, programs that have their tied fees to it.
Well, on the Adult Activity Center down at the banquet hall, currently it's $120 to $140 per hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then on a proposal is to delete the whole fee.
For the adult activities, because people really just do the banquet hall and dining, that's pretty much all that we get rentals for. They want both. So on that area, we just will delete the dining hall description and focus on the banquet hall and dining, which that's what most people pretty much rent. They don't just do banquet hall.
So it's I see, I'm looking at it. Right. So they're gonna do that category.
Because it's duplicated.
Because it's duplicated.
The whole thing. Okay. It's changed, would just be one.
Mm-hmm.
My question, and I know we had this conversation, I don't remember when, but with regard to security, and when we have Richland County there, that cost that's incurred, who pays that fee?
We do. When they come and they reserve the facility, and if it's required for security, that's in the agreement that they would have to pay the fee.
The person that's renting
Yes.
the facilities are going to have that extra.
Mm-hmm.
Have we, and this just might be a separate conversation, but as we are looking at these fees and the changing, have we determined that each and all of the activities, the facility rentals, which ones are going to require security, or is it, how are we determining that?
It's based on the location, the number of participants that you have at your rental. If I'm not mistaken, so I think if it's over 100, you have to have a security, and then locations that require have security. And staff inform people when they come and do the rental if that is a required site to have security, or if their number go by the 100 or more, then the number of security that they would have to have.
When's the last time we looked at that policy? 100 seems a little bit high to me for security.
That's that's.
And that's after 100 people and then you need security?
Yeah.
Right, I was aware of the alcohol. So the. Okay. All right, okay, but it is separate. So when the person is going to rent our facilities, we'll obviously have our rental fees, it'll be disclosed. But then we'll also share with them at that time what the plan is in terms of security over 100. Okay.
Under the tennis center, we're only charging $3 and $5. Do you think we need to go up a little more on that? I mean, since we're getting we gotta pay for the one we got. I think that's too low.
We can discuss it. I think I agree with you, but I'd rather just go through it at once. All of us.
Well, we need
Tamika,
to take.
if we do an event, like a 100-person event here at the adult center, let's say I'm having a birthday party, and I rent out the hall. Do you require me to get insurance naming RCRC as additional insured, or how does that work?
Go ahead.
I think it's, I've asked maybe years ago, but I just don't remember.
Yeah, I actually happened to look at your policy just recently, and y'all do require, so you do require that they obtain event insurance and that they name RCRC as the
So,
insurer.
My big, yeah, and then what I'm saying is, I don't know who in our firm, our company takes care of that, but when we're putting those files together, I just want to make sure that we're getting all those, making sure that every event, you can go online and get event insurance, or however you do it. But it's important to name us as additional insured, because if my friend comes here and he falls on the curb, he's going to sue RCRC. I think. Me.
And your policy does require that, and it also,
Just make sure we're keeping up with that.
yeah, it requires that they proof of insurance. The time frame, if I recall correctly, requires that they provide proof of insurance.
One other thing, under the membership card fees, why would we go down from $75 to $65? Why wouldn't we
I
stay
think the membership-
For the
$75?
seniors. So, so usually when you would have the two rates a year, we want to try to identify some type of discount for our seniors. And so this is a annual membership. And so we just thought that to show the discount to be $55 for our seniors.
I disagree. I think we should keep it at least the same, since we're not going up. The purpose, I mean, we need to get income some kind of way. So I just can't understand, why would we decrease it? If anything, leave it at the same amount. Anyway, we can look at this. We're not gonna pass this. We're gonna defer this and have more questions and look at it later, maybe the next meeting. To defer it and get more research.
That's good.
It's fine, just looking at this. Okay, other business. We have the interim executive director's report.
Okay, commissioners, for the project update, Friarsgate Athletic Complex, the lines have been painted and the handicap areas have been installed. The repair of the gutters on the restrooms, the change electrical box, and repairing for fencing on field 1. We also need to repair the leak for the concession. Once those are finished, then that will be completed.
This is for
Friarsgate. Friarsgate. The Richland County Tennis Center, the cosmetics for the site to include the bleachers, sidewalls, and windscreens are all complete. The grand reopening of the tennis center will be held on tomorrow at 10 o'clock here at the tennis center. Kaufman Road Park, the canteen is currently being renovated. It was painted and the floors were redone. We still need to replace the counters in the canteen. Reference to Richland County MOU, we received the final signatures from Richland County for the community emergency evacuation centers and the point of distributions MOA that was approved in last month. Other items, there was a request for me to come back and just discuss about the laptops purchase. So the desktops, Dell Optiplex were at the end of their lease with Dell. They are old and outdated and would be properly supported by Dell if needed, and would not be properly supported by Dell if needed. The agency is trying to ensure that all employees have the most updated technology and tools for their jobs. The laptops were purchased by IT to replace the desktops, which were on a Dell lease. The desktops had to be replaced with something that would allow the end users to continue with their daily operations. We are moving away from leasing our technology to help save costs that can be used elsewhere. With software and hardware continuously changing, we must get our technology up to those changes. The IT department is working on a 3-year recycle of technology that allows the users to be up to date with the innovations within the workforce. Having this cycle, the old computers and monitors can be used at the sites that do not have the most innovative tools, which can be used to set up labs within the community that allow kids to use the computers for research, for school, and for after-school programs that teaches kids from the computers. This process will also allow us to continue to give support to the community on a regular basis with the proper tools and technology, and allow RCRC agency to continue to be innovative for our technology needs. To clarify assumptions of the laptops being purchased in the fiscal year 23 budget, funding was allotted at the end of fiscal year 22 budget to purchase the laptops, and the expense was accrued in that fiscal year. The laptops were purchased in June 2022, and so the expense did not come out of this current year, fiscal year 23 budget. Our purchase and procurement policy and procedures have a threshold that allows the executive director to approve purchases less than $100,000. This purchase was extremely less than that amount, so therefore it did not need board approval. Per the policy for hours of operation, which is policy 14035, the executive director has the authority to make necessary changes in operations due to emergency staff changes, etc., with notification to the board. So the hours for James Clyburn and Garner's Ferry Technology Centers will be changing. The current hours right now are Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Friday 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday and Sunday close. Monday through Thursday hours will be changing to 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Fridays, Saturday, and Sundays will remain the same. Richland County Recreation Foundation receives a hospitality tax county promotions grant and the amount of $10,000 for the fiscal year 23 Jazz Fest. And Richland County has extended its ARPA funds application deadline to October 14th, 2022. And that ends my report. Thank you.
I'd like to commend the staff at Polo Road. The facilities have been really upgraded, and we were hearing all the conversations today, and I'm so thankful for what everybody's done. And it really, I've been around here 20 years. I've not seen a park transformed with the way that the grass looks. I'm in the grass, green grass. And they look really good, but I've been getting calls, and I don't know about other commissioners, but Blythewood, North Springs, and I just would just say that, like, all of our facilities, I don't know if we have to do a inventory or study of, for instance, like at North Springs, there was mold inside the concession stand, and we just got to get on top. And the gentleman today eloquently explained what was going on with both parks, and especially Kaufman Road. I mean, as long as I've been on this board, I've heard about that parking lot, and the tennis courts, and there's no reason. And I know it's easy for me to just say this, and then all of a sudden we had our capital budget compressed. We had, like I said, we couldn't give raises, et cetera, but we got to figure out what it's going to cost to get, these, everything needs to be we need to be proud of our facilities. And so like I said, I'm very thankful for what everybody's done, but moving forward, we really got to, keep it up everywhere. And so thank you for that. But also, I just think that we really have to keep an eye on these facilities, especially as we're moving into the slower months. Maybe some projects can get done. But, like I said, I've heard about Kaufman Road, and it's something that I'd love for us to study to get this place, because what he said about what's going on with growth in Lower Richland, and I'm in that industry, it's going to explode. And we need to be, and we do have Garner's Ferry. It's a key location. But, Kaufman Road should be needs to become a gem of that area. We just need to figure out what we need to do to get that upgraded, and any other parks that really need it. And I know a lot of them do, but we need to start knocking off some of these projects. That's just some quick thoughts that I have.
On the road, generate a lot of revenue. We losing revenue over cost.
I mean, you should be proud to walk in there every day and say, this place looks great. So
I've said all I said. Kaufman Road is in bad shape.
let's get it fixed
And
up.
he was not exaggerating at all. I mean, Garner's Ferry Road, we still don't have a sign down there unless they put one down there this week. So, I mean, it's not that we haven't complained, but we just need to take more action and make the community proud of the parks like they were.
And Chair and commissioners, I do have one of our new team members, because I wasn't in person in the July meeting, but Kalandri Rogers, he's our IT manager, and he's here. Kalandri, stand up. He's our IT manager. So if we had any questions in reference to IT, he's Kalandri Rogers.
Nice to meet you, young man. I think I questioned you last meeting. He was around here working and cleaned up. I said, who are you, sir? So I'm glad you've been properly introduced. It's a pleasure working with you.
Sarah? Sarah's with Pope Flynn. Sarah? Yeah. Sarah, she's attorney with Pope Flynn.
Oh. All right. And I have. What's for
Lawrence.
Well, thank you. I to echo the sentiment of Chair Commissioner Lapine. My question, and I do want to commend the staff for working hard, even in parks that are clearly in need of repair. I do want to commend the staff and the park supervisor for an event on this past Saturday, the second annual Hoop Fest that was held at Polo Road Park. I did the tip off. I didn't do very well, but I got a do-over. So I want to commend them for a job well done on an event also commissioner, was another commissioner with us. Mr. Mobley was there as well. So I just want to say publicly, thank you. I'm excited about the hospitality grants for the next Jazz Fest. That event was well attended and a great opportunity for our community members to come out post-COVID. So I'm looking forward to the 2023 event. I do want to ask a question about the ARPA funds. I know we've heard a lot about what our needs are in the park. And so what I'm asking our leadership team to do is to prioritize. I've heard about Kaufman Road. I've heard about roofs and parking lots and mold and canteens. And so the list is long. But for the people that are watching us and paying taxes come a few months now, what is flaming hot? What is our number one priority? Is it, if it's something at Kaufman Road or Meadow Lake or Friars Gate, whatever the case may be, I'm asking the leadership team, give us a priority, a list, because we hear these things and we want to make sure that we are responding, but we got to know what we can tackle now, what we have the funds to do that. And so my question is to the application for ARPA funds. What is the plan for that?
We're actually working on that now, being that it was extended. We actually came together, pulled the team, looked at the projects and what the community was asking for, what we're able to do. I can get you an actual list of what we are planning on doing and turning in to the county to go after those funds.
You know, this is our time where when we write your wish list for Santa. This would be our wish list to make sure that we are asking for all of the things that we've heard about. And let's do that. I'd like to make sure we're responsive for people, especially that have spent their time sharing what their needs are in their communities and trying to meet those needs. Any other discussions?
No, well said.
Okay. We have our next report from Felicia Venable, the Community Relations Manager.
Good evening. I would also like to commend the staff of Richland County Recreation Commission. Despite the circumstances or situations, we're still going out and still enjoying the communities in which we work and reside in. So I'd like to give a hand to the staff of Richland County Recreation Commission for doing so. When Quincy compiled this PowerPoint, because we haven't met since July the 18th, we had to stop at 15 slides. So, and that does not include everything that's happened since July till today. So we had to cut back. So definitely commend the staff for continuing to enrich lives and connect communities. So on July the 29th, we had Reading Under the Lights at Kaufman Road Park at the you can't say.
There we go.
Crystal, please, that's for the board.
I know.
He said he can't see. Is that better? That one. No. I have it here. You're fine. Yes, sir. No. You can leave it. You can leave it. You can leave it. You can leave it. We're absolutely fine. Kaufman Road Park. You're good, Ms. Lapine. Posted Reading Under the Lights. We had over 300 people in attendance. And we gave out 200 book bags to children in the Kaufman Road community. We also had some very special guests, readers from Richland County Coroner, Ms. Rutherford, the president of Benedict College, Ms. Clark. We also had WLTX Whitney Sullivan and Richland County Sheriff Department, Mr. Sheriff Leon Lott to read to the students. We had a stage all prepared and wonderful, and Sheriff Lott decided to read on the lawn. So we really enjoyed that event, and our commissioners came out, Commissioner Singleton and Commissioner Lindsay. So thank you very much. We had Back to Teaching drive-through that was held on July the 30th. This event was held at Eastover Park. This event was held for teachers. Normally we have book bags that's given to students, but we don't consider the teachers. Once those supplies are gone home, some of the kids don't come with additional supplies. So we offer 25 teachers, pencils, additional pencils, scissors, dry eraser markers, and sticky notes. So we commend the staff at Eastover Park. On August the 14th at Blythewood Park, they hosted the Heroes Day. So they wanted to say thank you to all the heroes, the EMS, Richland County Sheriff Department were in attendance, and they just wanted to say thank you to all the heroes of Richland County. On August the 27th at Eastover Park, they hosted the cycle for sickle cell. I've been in attendance at this event, and they had over 100 attendees. And from what I'm hearing, it was a pretty good day. And they had the mayor of Eastover participating in this event, as he does every single year. On September the 3rd at Bluff Road Park, they had Spike Out Cancer Volleyball Challenge, and over 200 people were in attendance. And we want to say congratulations to Clinton College. They won the Spike Out Cancer Volleyball Challenge. Our next event was Power in Pink. I know that Commissioner Lindsay was in attendance of this event. All of the staff wore pink. This is a well-attended, well-organized event. They raised $650 with Prisma Health to go towards breast cancer awareness. They had speakers, they had line dancing, and they were pretty in pink. We also hosted the 35th Annual Senior Games on September the 12th through the 16th. The theme for this year, for 2022, was It's a Groove Thing. It was a 60s party. It was a well-attended event. We had over 75 seniors to participate. And this event was also attended by the South Carolina Sports Classic president, Jim Tester, and our board member, Ms. Yvette McKenzie. She's here tonight. You can raise your hand, Ms. Yvette. We had over 16 seniors that were between the age, 80 and older. Our oldest participant was 97 years old. Commissioner Mobley and Commissioner Lindsay presented an award. Every year we have seniors that come to say they want to be represented as the oldest senior in attendance of senior games. So we actually had a birthday month challenge. We had two seniors that was 96. So one's birthday was in April and the other was in November. So we definitely had those challenges, and they love senior games. It's one of my favorite events. A lot of the seniors that participate in our local level, they go on to participate in the state level and the national level. And I know that Ms. McKenzie is one that's participated in all three. So let's give her a round of applause for her. She advocates for senior games. She's pickleball. I'm just bragging on her because archery is first. She's a pickleball is secondary because archery is first. Now, what do you play? Cornhole. Third. Okay. All right. I'm just keeping count. Just keeping count. But we love the seniors, and we thank you, Ms. Lindsay, for coming out. We thank you, Mr. Mobley. He was just getting his dance on at that 60s party on Friday. And I really enjoyed seeing that because it did my heart good to see the 75 seniors, and all 75 of them were dressed in their 60 gear. We had a fashion show and they were dancing. They made me tired. My feet were hurting at the end of the event. But I really say thank you to everyone that participated. On September the 17th, we partnered with the Richland County CASA at the Doco Manors in Blythewood. They hosted a Superheroes 5K Family Day. And as you can see, that was a very cute event. And Quincy and Leslie, myself, enjoyed the event. Anytime we partner, we're there as willing vessels. We did not go with the intention of taking photos, but Leslie ended up taking photos, and Quincy and I operated the table with giveaways and promotional items. But those great photos were from Miss Leslie Wilson. So thank you, Leslie. Teen Fit is held at Blythewood on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This event is for teens, and it's always hard for teens to come out. And then they'd say, well, we got to come out to exercise. But we had over 30 participants to register, and majority of them are females. So we're very proud of this event. It's a free event, and they're coming out, they're participating. Of course, some of them are complaining that they don't really want to come out there to work out, but they've been coming out. So we appreciate Darius for coming up with this idea and working with F3 to make this event possible. And I know that Miss Commissioner Singleton already brought up this event, and this was held this past Saturday, the Gang Awareness Hoop Fest at Polo Road Park. It says 120 people were in attendance, but I received a text message from Ira Thompson this afternoon that said 250 people were in attendance. I know that I was there and Mr. Mobley was there at 1 o'clock. And to commend the Polo Road Park staff, like Mr. Lapine has already mentioned, I could not find a parking space. They had people on the T-ball. They had people on the football. They had people on the soccer field and an event. Ms. Mobley, did you have that experience as well?
Yeah, it was wonderful.
It was wonderful. They were parked on the grass. And I did finally find a parking space after waiting for a few moments. But so well-attended event, well-organized event. We had a lot of special guests. And like I said, over 250 people were in attendance. RCRC has been in the news. We're going to see if this actually plays, if we can hear it. The sound doesn't work, then we'll just make reference to it. But as you can see, Miss Yvette McKenzie herself there in the purple, she was there every day doing senior games. So WOTX did come out to do a feature story on our opening event, and they featured pickleball on that particular news coverage. Also in the news, we had our development director, Miss Lisa Lewis Hutchison, and Freddie, the director at Polo Road Park, to conduct an interview concerning the Hoop Fest, and that was for Soda City Live. So all of this information is on our website and also on our YouTube channel. So you can take a look at those videos. Upcoming events, we have Domestic Violence Awareness Brunch that will be held at Pine Grove Community Center on October the 10th. We have Teen Hawks that will be held at Killian Park on October the 14th. Richland County Player of the Year Skills and Drills Combine will be held at Meadow Lake Park on 10/16. And I think someone already mentioned, Ms. Williams did, the reopening of our tennis center will be held on tomorrow, which is September the 27th at 10 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Enjoyed that.
We'll now go in executive session.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we break for executive session. I'm sorry, y'all.
Hey. The second.
Take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
3 minutes.
You second?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
When she's calling the roll. We can't hear you.
Just say yes.
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 No action was taken in executive session, so we can now adjourn. Again,
Make a motion to adjourn.
make a motion.
Make a motion.
I make a motion to adjourn.
And I second the motion.
Wow, that's good time.
Roll call.
Touch you second. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.